What is credit anyway? Well, simply put, credit allows you to buy something today and pay for it later. But you probably already knew that much. It's what you don't know that can get you into trouble. Most of you haven't had much need to understand the finer points of credit and borrowing yet. Before you know it, you'll be out in the world, and getting a head start on understanding how credit works is a good way to prepare for that. The first thing you'll want to know is that there's a barrier to entry in the world of credit. If you're under 18, you're not considered mature enough to handle the responsibilities of borrowing. As soon as you flip the calendar on your 18th birthday, a whole menu of credit and borrowing options will open up for you. Before committing to any credit arrangement, you'll want to do your own research. Read the fine print and know what you're getting yourself into. It's important to understand that all types of credit, whether it's credit card or a home mortgage, are different flavors of loans. And a loan is just a sum of money borrowed from a bank or financial institution that you're expected to pay back, with interest, usually on some sort of schedule. Credit isn't free money, it's borrowing against your own future. Your future earnings, your future potential, your future ability to pay back what you borrow, and paying extra for the privilege of borrowing it. A credit card is designed to work something like an ongoing short-term loan. Whatever you charge to it in 1 month, you're expected to pay back, at least in part, the following month. The interest you're charged on credit card debt is some of the highest you'll find on any credit instrument. An average annual percentage rate, APR, of 19.1%. Compare that to home mortgages these days, which have APRs averaging around 3 to 4%. Or student loans, which are paid back, usually, at a rate a few percentage points higher than the current prime lending rate, 3.25% in the US as of April 2020. So, why is it so expensive to borrow money using a credit card? Well, that goes to how lending risk is calculated and how that's represented in the amount of interest charged on a particular type of loan. The simple fact is that it is much easier to get a credit card than it is to get a car loan or a mortgage, which are subject to more exclusions and require stricter qualifications to be met. Because it's easier, more people get them, and then there's a higher instance of default, where a cardholder isn't able to pay back what they borrow. Higher APRs offset that risk in the long run. Now, if you get in the habit of paying off what's owed every month, you won't have to worry about that higher interest, because there's a short grace period before the interest is applied to what you owe. For credit cards, it's good practice to never charge more to the card than can be covered by your income in the near future. So, now that you have a pretty solid sense of credit card dynamics, let's touch on some other types of credit. A student loan gives you money on the promise of you being able to pay it back with what you earn from the career that's awaiting you after you graduate. But student loan lenders don't distinguish between the value of different types of degrees. So, it's up to you to figure out if the career prospects offered by your degree choice are worth the debt you'll be stuck paying for. Though the APR on student loan is reasonable, the principal, the amount you'll have to borrow, is very high. If the post-graduation earning potential of your degree isn't equally high, it could take you decades to pay off your loans. As the cost of your education keeps ballooning, the longer it takes to settle. Now, the same could be said of something like a home mortgage. The APR lending rate can be on the lower side, but the amount being borrowed will be very high, possibly in the millions. The benefit of borrowing to buy property is that its value is much more real than in education's, and its resale value is much higher than, say, a new car you choose to finance. In fact, where a new car can lose 30% of its value the moment it drives off the lot, homes have been known to double and triple their value in less than a decade depending on location. And you'll have had all those happy years living in it as well. Credit isn't something to joke about, but used in the right way, it can be a useful tool for helping you reach your goals on a faster timeline.